So you have to report also that people are using.
There's a disaster that has come up. The Oxbow Lake here overflowed its banks and some of the dikes that had been put there earlier. And you can see it has cut there and created another very rapid river flow. And those who know how Oxbow lakes are formed, you understand when river changes course. So because of this problem that you are seeing, you can look at how that water, very big, and even the way the levels have gone down. It has created an environmental and human disaster downstream, both in Budalangi, where nearly 2 wards have been submerged underwater. Schools, farms, they are all underwater, and we were there yesterday. And we thought we were trying to mitigate that side, only to realize that there's a disaster that has happened here. So this Oxbow Lake is draining very fast because of this flow, and we need immediate intervention. Otherwise, it's going to be an environmental catastrophe, and livelihoods are already affected, the environment is already affected. So I just want to say that is the reason we have been here, both county governments, national government, and other multi-agencies. And as we speak, there are not much efforts that are going on. We need to scale up the efforts to address this situation. And the government is that we need this thing, the counties are unable to do it on their own. We need the National Youth Service and the military to respond to this disaster with immediate effect. So if those concerned can come and help us, and I'm sure reports have already been transmitted, so that we can mitigate together. So if we can have the National Youth Service and the military, it will really help us to try and save livelihoods down there. And even to save this lake. Like you have seen, the water has really gone down. And we don't know what the environmental catastrophe that it will be. So all government agencies involved, we are calling them for immediate remedial measures, which we have said is to block this place and regulate the flow of water, and then the long term on how we can make sure that such a disaster does not happen again.
Kuja hapa kujaribu kuzuia hii sehemu ambao tuko leo, na tukapata wenyeji hapa ambao pia waliweza kutusaidia wakiwemo ex-chief mzee ambao alitupa sehemu ambao tulinunua kuweza kubeba mara ikiwa na mawe kuleta hapa. But unfortunately wakati tulikuwa tunafanya hiyo kazi hatukuweza kufaulu vizuri, kwa sababu wakati tulikuwa tunafanya the environment was very hostile, being that hii maji ilikuwa affect maboma mengine the other side of the Lake Kanyaboli. So the environment was hostile, though tuliweza kufanya hii kazi kiasi ambao tuliweza, na imeendelea hivyo muda mrefu mpaka wakati ambao imeshinda hii dike na ikabomoa. So kufikia leo ward ya Bunyala Central na Bunyala South zimekuwa affected kabisa. Chakula, mahindi ambao tayari imeanza kuweka na maharagwe ambao imekomae yote imefunikwa. Maboma na mashule imefunikwa. As we speak, watu wana mahangaiko makubwa sana. Bila kupata suluhisho hapa, hakuna vile tutaweza kuwa na sehemu ya kulima, na hata maboma itazidi kuwa affected. So ni lazima serikali yetu kuu ijitokeze kutusaidia, kwa sababu sisi hatuna nchi nyingine isipokuwa Kenya. Na tunajivunia kuwa wa Kenya, tutaendelea kujivunia kuwa wa Kenya, serikali pia ikiweza kutuokoa.
It took a lot of time when water was not passing through that outlet, because it brought some residues and blocked the culvert. So the lake got a lot of water and was filled to the point. That's why it got broken behind us here. We even informed the government in charge, the county government, before it was worse, but they took no notice. So a week ago it got burst, and the whole water from Lake Kanyaboli is now entering the swamp. You can see this water is not standing here, or it is not stagnant in the swamp. It is finding its way to Lake Victoria. So shortly you will find that the swamp is dry and the lake also is dry. So quick reaction or intervention should be done to this point where it got broken.
So we are going to go appeal to the NYS, the military through the regional commissioner, to bring the engineers here, because this is an engineering nightmare and it must be remedied as quickly as possible, because the downstream settlements, crops, animals are affected. Upstream, the lake is receding. And this is one of the most important and fundamental ecosystem within our republic. So we appeal to those persons who can assist us to remedy this problem. Besides that, we are going to talk to the national government, which has better tools to assist this problem here.
Lake Aggrove has responded by bringing in machinery. We've had to hire trucks because we don't have sufficient equipment ourselves, and I'm very encouraged to hear that some support may be forthcoming from other areas. The technology, the system that we're using to repair this dike is exactly the same as we used in 2021 when those major breakages in the Yala dike occurred. It's exactly the same process. We first of all build a temporary dam, what we call a coffer dam, to retain the water while the main repairs using the correct material take place on the dike itself. It's also been said that the long-term solution, I totally agree, this lake needs to be monitored more carefully. Things such as welding shut the gates that are used to control the level simply cannot be allowed to happen. It has to be monitored properly and it has to be controlled properly.
Team, both national and
of course county.
And relevant. And of course with the resources. With the resources.
But we're going to work
tinga nini, public works.
No, hiyo si ya kuketi, hiyo ya chai.